the way you have taken us through this evening. And I want to say, I thank you very much for also giving me a chance to share my story. My name is Isaac Ndungu. By profession, I'm a high school teacher. The story I'm going to tell you started 11 years ago. And I was born and brought up in Thika. Thika is the central part of Kenya. So I was born there, and I went to school in the neighborhood of where I was born. And when I went to school, my parents told me to work very hard. In fact, I was assured that if I worked very hard, that I would get very good grades and I would get a very good job. And I had come from quite a humble background. And when I was told that was the solution, I said, I hit the ground running, because I knew then my solution was actually in education. And I still respect education a lot. So I went, I went to primary school, secondary school, still in my neighborhood. That is where I come from. And then another thing happened to me. I actually made it to the university. And I remember still discussing it with a friend of mine from a neighbor friend of mine who was a little bit ahead of me, and told me that if I chose education, something like teaching, I was certain I would get a job. And very fast I did that. So I went to university and I took bachelor's in education. And there you are. Yeah, I graduated and almost immediately got a chance to teach in Chogoria Meru. That is in Kenya. That is the eastern part of Kenya. And when I went there, I started now teaching students. You know, my area has always been English and literature. And by the way, in literature, we only have majorly two characters. We have kings and we have beggars. And for all throughout my life, I've always wanted to be a king who would have serious control, especially in the matters that concerns them in the society. And went there now, I started teaching, and those people that are in Kenya, majorly, you know, the literature books. So I went through the river and the source. I would explain the Caucasian chalk circle, whoever was betrayed in the city, you know, along the home stretch when the sun was going down. I have explained those books thoroughly. And every time I would explain them, I would get paid. And to me, I got used that I would wake up in the morning, I would go and work at school and get paid. And that became the routine. The only challenge was one. I am a dreamer. I have never loved to live small. As I have told you about the two characters, the king. So for me, I started realizing the salary was getting finished very early. It would not wait for the end of the month. In fact, sometimes it would not even wait for the month. It would actually vanish. And I started wondering, I had worked hard. So I went back to the university and I enrolled for masters in gender and development studies. That is at Kenyatta University. Kenyatta University is actually, is in a place called Kiambu. It's basically in Nairobi. It's very near Nairobi. And the idea was this, that if I got another degree, things would improve. And apparently they didn't in terms of money. And I knew there must have been something. The only problem was I didn't know what it was. So one day something happened. But just before that something happened, when I was still teaching in Chogoria, I married Purity. I married to Purity Wamuyu. We've been together now for the last 21 years now. And we are blessed with three children, two boys and a girl between them. And so we got married when I was still in Chogoria. and I got a transfer to teach in a school near my home place. Now, in Kenya, I don't know what happens in other countries, but in Kenya, a teacher feels better when she or he works near their home place because of the expenses. So I wanted to work near home, a place where probably I would rush home and they plant a few plants here and there that would sustain me, that would come, to aid me. So Rocho was relatively near our home. So that is when I got a transfer and I came to Rocho. That is now that was one of the reasons. Now it is still never actually improved, and I was realizing that this amount of money was also getting really depleted through taxes. So there would be no problem up there. I would get a good amount of money. In Kenya, it would almost be like 70,000 Kenya shillings. That's roughly $700 in Kenya. The challenge was this. Immediately, I would be told this is your money. It would be followed by what? By pay as you want, pay as you eat, pay as you walk around, pay as you marry, so that by the end of the day, what I used to take home was actually very pathetic. And deep within me, I was saying, I actually wanted something different. And within me, there was that dissatisfaction. Then one day, something happened. Purity was invited to listen to this opportunity. You hear what you have been told today? Purity was invited. Purity is my wife. She was invited to listen to this. So she came and to listen. And when she listened, it was a Sunday evening, afternoon rather. When she listened, she came home and told me, "Hey, there's something I have heard in town, and we are going to do it." By the way, I still remember Purity never asked me whether we should do that business. And later on, she explained that I was not in the meeting, so I was not one of the people to be consulted because I had not heard what she had. So basically, what she was doing, she was giving me a notice that actually I have started a business. And it helped me because probably if she has started asking questions, I would have started giving her advice very unfounded because I had not actually listened to the opportunity. So that is what happened. So she told me she had started, she had actually paid, and I was telling somebody else another day. That is one of the danger of marrying an educated lady. She will make decisions, and because she also has some money, she will go ahead and implement. So kind of, I was being notified, and so for me, it was like I have heard about this, and we have started this business, but I really didn't know about it. So I attended a presentation like the one we have been given this evening, a wonderful one, and I had the presentation. When I was keen to listen, I realized that there was actually money in this opportunity. So I said, later on now, I attended another meeting. And within no time, we got our first check. It was very small. It was only 1,000 Kenya shillings and 362, roughly $10. That was not really much. In fact, I remember somebody asking me in the staff room, that is at Rocho, whether that was in Kenya shillings or in US dollars. So I said, of course, that it was in U. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. So I explained that it was in Kenya shillings. It was not really something to write home about. And I remember those initial days. It was very unsettling. It looked. Another teacher told me, "Oh, you have joined that business of drugs." If you put it in Kiswahili, for the East Africa, and for those of you that may grasp Kiswahili, he told me, "Oh, umeanza ile biashara ya madawa." The implication looks like I was peddling in drugs. Then, it wasn't a very good thing. And I felt like it wasn't going to amount to much. Now, I attended trainings, the similar one, and like another one that we are normally given on Thursdays here. When I went for the training, I realized the business was even bigger than I thought. Then my second check came. It was 29,531. That was roughly $300, a good amount of money. In fact, if you were in a physical meeting, I would have asked for a clap. I think when we meet, when Olo visits East Africa again, you'll find a way of having a clap for me because of that check. This is the reason. That money was more than my net. After pay as you want, pay as you eat, pay as you walk around, that money was more than my net. I was really excited, very excited. Then later on, the following month, I became a director. I became a director in our business after 3 months. And my check was 60,948, roughly $600. That money was almost the gross salary I was getting from TSC, the Teacher Service Commission. It was really exciting, very exciting. You see, ladies and gentlemen, what I got was there was something else I could do and earn. You see, all along, the whole idea was I teach, I am employed, and that is how I'm going to earn my money. Now I realized that I'm doing this business. I am getting almost daily profits because I could sell, I could share products. Then at the end of the month, I could get my bonus. And then at some point, my bonus now started going beyond where I came from because the very first people to join my network or my organization were the teachers in the staff room and the people around me. But soon I started getting people join our organization from far. And I was so excited when I realized it could even get outside the country. That one really struck me. You see, many people I had known had businesses, even teachers like me had businesses like somebody would be a teacher and then open a shop that was only supposed to serve the people in the neighborhood. Then I got the information that this business was able to give me business in Kenya and over 50 other countries. To me, I got really excited. Then this was really the turnaround for my business. In 2015, having started the business in 2013, we got an invitation to visit South Africa. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, having come from the village and had never seen the inside of an aeroplane, now I get a chance to get inside one. And not only that one, take off. I was really excited, really excited. You go getting into an aeroplane and somebody is telling you, welcome, sir. And you almost look behind to see who is the sir being referred to. Because you could not imagine that you are being referred, that kind of, treatment. And then we go to Sun City. Shortly after, we were invited in the same year to Johannesburg, Santon Sun, for a Ruby orientation. Apparently, it is Purity and I that were invited for that particular time from Kenya. Now you can see me, and then they even came for us from our house. They came for us. The company paid. We were taken from our house to the airport, and you could see now that it was really exciting. And then we go, and then shortly after we were invited to Cape Town. Then we went to Abu Dhabi and actually passed through Dubai and spent some time there. Then we were invited to Mauritius, a wonderful country, a very nice country. And to me now, I could no longer now stay with the TSC. A very wonderful job as a teacher, but I felt I needed to leave. You see, there is a way that you realize what your employer has been doing, and because you do not want to spoil the well, you want to live in peace. So I simply left. And I felt, let me give another person a chance to continue teaching and explaining adjectives and adverbs. For me, I thought of doing this business now full time. Then last year, we were actually invited to Istanbul, Turkey. And you know, sometimes you get into an airplane and then they start asking you, will you take fish or chicken? And sometimes, you know, that element, that the village in me almost says, give me the chicken as you prepare the fish. You know, you feel like you want to take both of them. And it has been really exciting. It has been really exciting. Where do I see this business take me through in the future? To me, I've just begun this business. Now I know what PV is. I know how to join this business. I'm only 11 years old in this business, quite young. I'm not even yet a teenager in this business. I realized the other day a gentleman who has been in this business for 50 good years. Before I was born, the gentleman was doing this business and he's still in the business. That is really exciting. So I'm looking at it, and it's really, for me, it's opening new horizons. I see like the world has become bigger. You know, when some people complain, for example, in Kenya, those of you that are outside Kenya, I have some friends of mine that really complain in Kenya that even the taxes have even gone higher. You know, there is another one being now that is it is a bit controversial, but it is getting kind of implemented. The one of houses that you're supposed to, you know, contribute for houses. And when people complain in Kenya, and it's because of many other taxes, I don't know what is happening in other countries. I have one consolation. I don't ignore that I am a Kenyan, but you see, I'm also doing this business in Botswana. I'm also doing this business in South Africa. I'm doing this business in Europe. I'm doing this business in the USA. I'm doing this business in Canada. I'm doing this business in other countries. In other words, you know, economies can never all be the same. And it is really exciting to know that I can do business outside Kenya. So this opportunity now opens my eyes so that I'm not only, you know, limited to what is happening in our small country, allow me to call it that, but now I have been given an opportunity that can go beyond this country. And Neolife has just been a wonderful opportunity. When I present this opportunity to somebody in the US, there is an office in the US. In fact, the business originated from there. So I don't need to do so much explanation. I'll tell them you can actually order the same product where you are. Can you imagine? I am right here in Nairobi and I am selling my product in the US, right inside there. Recently, I sold some products in Britain. I haven't been to Britain, but I have friends there that are in my organization. And I sell to them, or rather, we do business when they are there and I'm here. And to me, that's a wonderful opportunity. And guess what? The opportunity has also opened up to social media, and that now I'm able to interact with so many people. And right now, the gentleman I have done the presentation together with today, he is actually in South Africa. I am in Nairobi, Kenya. You know where you are. I can see some friends of mine from Botswana. I can see some friends from Nigeria, some from Tanzania, Uganda, and all over the world. They are actually in this meeting. Can you imagine? They all know about a product. Those that are members, they know about a product called TNN. I don't start anything new. So to me, I look at it like a platform that has been put for me there for me to do virtually anything that I want to do. So I want to stop at that. I am a man of few words, and like today, I feel like there are fewer. So allow me to stop at that, and allow me to invite back our take us to the end of the meeting.